You're about to see something you've never seen. Quite frankly, I am at a loss for words. In all seriousness, I think if you ask my wife Sherry about it, normally when I go to a podium to say something, I don't bring this. I think about it on the way to the podium. I think about it on the way to the event. And this is something that means something very, very special to me. And I have thought about it, what I might say time and time again. And I don't know whether I can put together words that will mean anything to all of you. I hope it means something to some of you. This luncheon is not about me. I've got to say thank you to some groups of people who are in the room today. The community of Athens, it represented a very big cross-section of our community, and I'm very grateful for that. And we have been friends. There's been this love affair between me and you for a long time. And your presence here today to come out for lunch means the world to me. The sponsors and the people that bought tables, the friends, my community friends, my friends who have known me the better part of my entire life, the better part of my adult life, my friends who I have known and become close friends with going back to college. It is a great honor for you to be here. Some of you traveled. They came from South Georgia. They came from West Georgia. They came from Metro Atlanta. They came from Birmingham. I'm particularly pleased to have Lida, who I call Lida Shaw White, whose husband Jerry was a close friend of ours, and we lost him a couple of years ago. But what an inspiration he was in the legal community in Birmingham, who found ways to give back to his community. It's a special treat for her to come down for that. I've got friends that I work with. I've got people that I work with in an official capacity and in an unofficial capacity that mean a great deal to me. I thank you. I've got people from City Hall who are here. And I want to pay special tribute to Gene Spratlin, clerk of our commission, who did so much to me during my 8 years hanging around City Hall, who kind of pulled me back from the edge of blowing up and walking away a couple of times. And of course, May, who saw me at my best. She saw me at my worst. And I'm grateful for those friendships. And then I've got a group of special friends that mean a lot to me. They mean more than I can explain to you. A group of special friends that when my circumstances made me willing to do something, my circumstances made me willing to take a step. And they were there. And they, as we say, loved me until I could love myself. And they said, we'll help you. And they taught me the importance, and I think it's very important that you hear this, because I heard it in my very first day of recovery. And that is, look for the similarities and not the differences. And when I carry that forward into my life outside of the rooms of recovery, it sticks with me. Because so often we, and I'm still guilty of it, we look for differences in ourselves. And we try to put ourselves here and someone else there. That's not the way we're intended to go through this life. Look for similarities. And in the rooms of recovery, I can tell you I have found more things in common with more people that I would have never known than you can imagine. They told me to keep coming until the miracle happens. And some of you are not going to understand. Some of you are. But I can promise you that is a miracle that is true. It is a miracle in its own right. And it is as real as the building we are seeing it. And I thank them for that. And with their help and the help of a power greater than myself, as I understand it, I have been able to put together, as we say, a few 24 hours. And then the family. My mother and my late father, my sister and her husband, my brother and his wife. Nothing but support. Absolutely nothing but support. My children, my son Doc, who was away in college, and came home as soon as he could and said this is no hill for a climber. You can do this. And my daughter Jenny, who could not be with us today, who said, I love you more than anything in the world, and we need to do this. And then my wife, who on that evening of November the 4th, 2003, but who's counting? Who's keeping up with those days? But on that night, she had the courage to follow through on what is the ultimate act of unconditional love. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. Some of you won't. But it doesn't happen until that. Nobody goes to recovery because they think it's a good idea. They wake up one morning and they decide, I've had enough, I think I'll go to recovery. It doesn't happen. We all have somebody's footprint on our rear end. And I certainly did that day. And I also had arms waiting for me to encourage me and to keep me on that path. And everybody in this room has played a role in that. I can't tell you enough, I can't stress enough how important Sherry has been in my recovery. And especially my other family members and my special friends. Because without them, I couldn't have done it. Period, in a sense. And I like to say, if I could have, don't you think I would? But what the gift of recovery has given me are opportunities to do things like be at my father's side when he died, and not sitting there with a hangover, not running back and forth to the car to have a little tub. I didn't have to do that. That is a gift of recovery. To be able to be with my mother and celebrate her 85th birthday. To be with my son Doc and his wife who can't be here because she could be delivering my first grandchild, our first grandchild, any minute. If that call comes in, I'm gone. And to be able to walk down the aisle with my daughter when she gets married this December. Those are gifts of recovery that I don't know that if you're not in recovery you can appreciate, but I hope you will try. The award, which used to be called the Social Justice Award, was renamed a few years ago for Milner S, is an honor that I don't know that I deserve, and you feel almost embarrassed by doing so to have this kind of a turnout for it. I did not have the pleasure of really knowing Milner that well. So I called Jenny, and I got some words from him. Jenny and I talked to Virginia, and I felt like I got to know him a little better. Many of you in this room know Milner, or knew Milner quite well. He's no longer with us. But I want to share with you something that Virginia said, and Jenny shared with me, that and I think it is right on target to where I am. Milton believed that we're all broken to some degree, and that by helping others fix their broken parts, we all become better people because of it. And I'm going to, this is what Jenny sent me the other day, and I've got to read it because I didn't know well enough, but I feel like I do after I read this to you. Is that he saw the law had great potential to be an equalizer if practiced in the right way. He understood that to effectively serve our communities, our society has to be invested in positive outcomes as we are in punishment for the vast majority of inmates who are one day going to return to our communities. You've got to be invested in outcome. You can't just be invested in punishment, because if you do, then you turn out desperate citizens who go on to live a life of crime. And this is what got me about this statement about Milner. He felt very strongly that there is a real fear that the scales of justice tilt differently when you have resources. I'll say that again. That the scales of justice tilt differently for you when you have resources. And that's something we need to fix. I commend the Athens Justice Project for addressing it. For those from the University Law School, from the practicing attorneys, the professors who are doing just that. I'm going to read just one more thing, and then I'm going to sit down. Statistics, if you will. I know we get bored with statistics, but listen to this. 4 out of every 5 children and teen arrests in our juvenile justice system are under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and have been when they were committing their crimes, are arrested for committing crimes on alcohol or a drug offense. That's 4 out of 5. That is a big, big number. And Joseph Califano, the former Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare, says, instead of helping, we are writing off these young Americans. And that's wrong. We are releasing them without attending to the needs of substance abuse treatment and other services, punishing them without providing help to get back on track. And that's something that I would say to any elected official, be it in this room, Atlanta, or Washington. And let me back it down to our own community right here in Athens, Georgia. Close to 95% of felony grade arrests in Athens, Georgia, in Athens, Clark County, Georgia, involve individuals that have substance abuse issues, whether that's alcohol, illegal drugs, or prescription drugs. And it doesn't matter. I don't care what your drug of choice is. Substance abuse is substance abuse, period, end of sentence. And our jails are full of them. And it costs us billions and billions of dollars as a country and a community. In closing, I can't go back and tell you again how much I appreciate this turnout and this honor and this recognition. But let me tell you that the real heroes you're getting ready to hear from, a young man, a product of the Athens Justice Project, and the business owners in this community that stand up and say, I'll help. You send me somebody that is on the right track to recovery, and I don't care, I will help. So in closing again, it's such an honor. I thank you for your attendance, and God bless each and every one of you for what you're doing.
To me personally, when I used to go to Athens Y Camp, Doc was, of course, many years older than I was. But he used to beat me up pretty regularly. But I've got got my annual junior high house, 1968, Park Junior High School. To Lawton, if you come back to camp, I'll beat you up again. Yes, I'm still dating Kim Basing. What you didn't know is that I snuck into your Foot Locker one night and stole a couple of items, and I wanted to return them to you. Go ahead.
You know, we were at Y camp when we were teenagers, and I'm a little afraid of what you might have found in my football. You know, my mother's here. And, you know, when I was in junior high, I got caught with a couple things in my locker I wasn't supposed to. So I hope that's none of that. Here we go. Okay. Oh, cow. How did they ever know that one of my real heroes growing up was Mickey Mantle? And I want to tell you a really quick story about Mickey Mantle. This won't take but just a second. No, you shouldn't sit down. Mickey Mantle was born and raised in Pitcher, Oklahoma. The same small mining town a guy named Bill Pace was born.
Yes, so.
Bill Pace later in life became my father-in-law. And Bill Pace outdated him every year in high school. So this is a wonderful gift, and thank you so much.
Also, on a more personal note, I'm giving you a $25 gift certificate to Marvin's Shoe Shop, so that he can keep those white saddle Oxfords in good shape, even though he used to kick me with those white saddle Oxfords. But before you step down, Nancy Denson, Mayor Denson, has a special presentation. Is Mayor Denson here? Oh, there it is.
I know this program is a little lengthy, so I'm going to be short, and giving a politician a microphone is dangerous. The key to the city is something that I reserve for very extraordinary events, extraordinary people, and ordinary people that do extraordinary things. Doc Eldridge is one of those few extraordinary people who does extraordinary things. And the best good deeds, the best altruism is that nobody knows about. What Doc has done for recovering alcoholics and addicts, I'm sorry to realize this is not emotional, but it's something that very few people in this community had any idea that he was doing. I was unaware of it until very recently when he recruited me to help a young man that he was trying to help. So Doc, we've changed the locks.
I was going to say, they changed it.